I was friends with a professional catfish, and she tried to catfish me and steal my man. Hi guys, it's Fine Girl Dime. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. And you're a fine girl too if you're already subscribed. I'm gonna tell you guys about the time I was friends with a professional catfisher, okay? She was a professional catfish. It all started in Spanish convention. This was in high school, okay? So it was Spanish convention, and basically it's a competition to speak Spanish, and you do different things, like you can act, but you would act in Spanish, so it would be como un telenovela, so you'll be like vas a decir que el hijo que espero no es tú, que te robaste el dinero de mi cuarto, eres una ladrón, favor, te voy a matar. Mataste y mataste con tu hierba venenosa, mataste a mi madre, tú mataste a mi madre. And I don't know, like, you don't have to slap someone, but it would just be like very extravagant and like extra. Like, we won first place. I would recite poems. First place, baby. But anyways, the story is not about that specifically, but this is where it started. We all were just like together, just hanging out, and well, not hanging out because it's a convention, but you know, once the convention stuff is over with, once you finish like whatever fun event for that night, everyone goes to their room. There's 4 of us in the room, so we're gonna call one Alejandra, the other is Pilar, and Vanessa. Okay, so Vanessa, she is a very interesting person, very strange. She was definitely like, we called them in the time, we called them like hype beasts. So whatever was like cool, she would like hop on that. Okay, so one day Pilar was like, oh, let's do something fun, and nobody had iPhones like that at the time. Okay, so this is like regular phones. So Pilar is like, oh, we can call the hotline. And granted, this is not when online dating, it was a thing, but like the creepos would be on online dating. I mean, creepos were on this hotline too, but we'll get to that. So she was just like, oh, let's go on this hotline. So I mean, I didn't really know what a hotline was, so I was just like, okay. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fun. She hyping it up. So we went on the hotline together, and she used her phone, and she knew how it worked and everything. So I'm gonna try and recall this from, you know, what I think she did. So how the hotline worked was, you call in, and so you call the number. You know what I just thought about? She didn't have to call a number. She had it saved. So she did that a lot. Now that I think about it, wow, okay. So she called a hotline, and she was just like, she left a message. So her message was something like first she did a silly one. She was like, hey, I'm Jennifer, and I just need something really good right now. So that was her message. You get an alert, like they call you back. But it's not you directly. Somehow they like connect the 2 people, so you would have like messages that you go through, but it's all over the phone. So we hear, oh, hey, yeah, I'm oh wait, I probably should make this message on, I'm sorry, I was like, I probably should make that motion while I'm on the camera, but if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. All right, so just pretend. And he's like, oh yeah, like I really want to come and see you, so just let me know where you are, and you know, I'll be over there. And it was like, it was an old man, I could tell. So we were like, okay, that one was a bit strange. So we were just like, okay, let's go to the next one. So we decided to go to the next one, and the next one is this person. We called him Special K. Okay, so Special K had a very different voice. Special K, he was like Special K, he was like woo, okay, I don't know, he just had a weird voice and a weird person. So he's like, hey, I'm Special K. You know, I'm just trying to right now, and you know, I think you look real good. You know, the way you described herself. Oh yeah, she described herself. I just forgot how she described herself. Yeah, the way you described yourself, like, it was just so good. Like, I just want to come on over you and stuff like that. And I was just like, I didn't know what cum was. So I was just like, oh my gosh, girl, you got one. And he was like, he seemed like the most entertaining, the most weird. So we were like, okay, yes, we're going to do Special K. So we call Special K. It's like some type of connector thing. I don't know how it works. So it connected the two calls. So I was like, so we found a way to incorporate all of us. And I'm just going to use our fake names because, like, you know, it doesn't make sense to you. Like, I'm not going to give, we gave fake names, but it doesn't make sense to give those another set of fake names for the fake names that we use. So I'm going to just let you know who's who, okay? So one person, just so you know, we didn't give our real name. I just want to be thorough. So, oh, and if you're, well, actually, I don't even know if they have hotlines like this, because I was about to say, if you're a kid, don't do this. Don't do this if you are a kid, okay? This is not safe. But honestly, I don't think anyone really uses a hotline. I think everyone is like, you know, use the internet, Bumble, websites, you know. We decide, okay, we gonna do Special K, but we don't, his name, I don't even remember his actual name. He had a long name, and he said his nickname was K, so we call him Special K, because Special K, he was like a little weird, okay? So that's why we call him Special K, like the cereal. We call him, he like, hey girl. And that's what he actually says. I remember it vividly. He's like, hey girl. And then Pilar's like, hey, this is Pilar. What can I do? And then he's like, oh, well, you know, I'm just trying to get a good one on today and all that stuff. And y'all, somehow, you know, Pilar, she had a friend, okay? And that friend was Vanessa, all right? Like, friend. So Vanessa, she wanted in on the action too. So Vanessa was like, hey, she has like a very high-pitched voice naturally. She's like, hey, Special K, you have any friends? And he was like, actually, I do. And he was like, yeah. And so another person get on the phone. He like, what's up, man? I'm Slim. And Maria's like, oh, no, that was her fake name, y'all. Her fake name was Maria. I accidentally said her fake name for this thing. But Vanessa, she's like, oh, cool, I have a friend here too. Her name's Dime. And I was just like, I know, y'all. I was catfishing too, I guess. Well, he didn't know what I looked like. He didn't know what anyone looked like at this point. But yeah, keep listening to the story. So I'm just like, hey, yeah, I'm Dime, what's up? And so, you know, they're talking, we're all talking. So Slim like, yeah, you know, we gotta exchange some pictures. Everybody gotta exchange some pictures, you know. And then Special K's like, yeah, you know, me and them, we gotta exchange some pictures. I'll send the first one, you know, so you feel more comfortable. And so, y'all, I was disgusted. I had never seen a peen in my life, but the first one I saw was extremely disgusting, okay? It was kind of scary. It was like, it was very slimy. It was very slimy, disgusting. Oh, it just looked like a creature. It looked like the Alaskan bullworm.
It was big. It was all wiggly. It was an Alaskan bullworm.
But with slime and I guess darker, of course. Actually, you know what? The thing that SpongeBob thought was the Alaskan bullworm was actually the tongue, but the whole thing was something else. But it was giving slimy Alaskan bullworm.
It was an Alaskan bullworm.
So I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so disgusting. Is this what penis looks like? Ew. So that was one thing. So Pilar and Vanessa. They are trying to decide like what picture are we gonna send, what picture are we gonna send, what picture are we gonna send. I don't know where they found a picture, but they send out pictures. Someone's like, oh yeah, you know, we all got a link. Well, link was not a thing at the time, so we were like, yeah, you know, we all gotta hang, because you know, y'all look good, we look good, they didn't look good. Okay, oh, I didn't tell. Okay, so Slim, he also sent a picture that wasn't of his ill infected looking, and Slim sent a picture of him holding a bunch of money, and his nails were like black, like completely black, like I have a nail fungus kind of black. Okay, so they each had like fades or whatever, but they both look very disgusting. So yeah, they continued to talk to them and I went to sleep. So this is just to let you know about like what started this whole thing. Okay, after this, you know, in high school, you know how you have your play families, you'll be like, oh, this is blah blah blah, this is my dad, this is my brother, this is my sister. I was Vanessa's mom, so she'd be like, mom, blah blah blah, mom, blah blah blah. And it kind of makes sense because I'm like, I'm pretty organized. Like whenever my friends and I have a trip, like I'm the planner, and I do a pretty good job with that because I keep in mind, because I feel like I know the people that I'm with, but I always make sure I communicate with them to make sure that, you know, that's what they want and they're there at each step of the way. So I exhibited those characteristics even when I was in high school, so I think that's why I was like, mom, right? She was like, mom, guess what, and I was just like, oh, what's up? And she was like, so Janae Aiko retweeted me. I was like, what? Are you serious? Let me see. Are you kidding me? Like, this is before Janae was like popping like she is now. Like I really like Janae. She's not my favorite artist, but I really like Janae. So I was super excited. Like, I love Janae when people were thinking like, oh, Janae is Lil Fizz's cousin. Like, throwback. Like, that's when I like Janae. And she wasn't doing too much at that time. Like, she was doing like maybe, I don't know, like some things, like little things in California or something. But this time I'm just trying to like give you guys an idea of the time period it was. Okay, so I was excited. I was like, are you kidding me, Janae? She's like, Janae, yeah, like she retweeted me. And I was like, are you serious? I was like so happy for her. I was like, oh my goodness, like what did you say? So she shows me, and no, she kind of like, she doesn't show me, like she doesn't show me everything. So she shows me that Janae retweeted her, but she didn't show me everything, if that makes sense. So I was like super excited for her. I'm like, oh my goodness, girl, Janae noticed you. But anyways, so more time goes by and she's like, mom, guess what? Lil B liked my comment, or I don't know how Twitter works. I never really had one. So she was like, oh, Lil B, he liked my comment. He liked it. He liked my comment. Come see. So she shows me it. And when she shows me, y'all, tell me why her profile picture was a white girl with red hair, and then I don't know if I can tell y'all the name because I have a feeling she might still be catfishing to this day. I'm not sure, but we're gonna call her fake profile. It kind of was a stripper name. Let me think. We're just gonna call her Persian Rug, okay? So I look and I see that it's a white girl with red hair, kind of look like a stripper. And I'm not saying that because like there's a stripper look, but I'm just saying like she didn't have that many clothes on. And if you follow like, I don't know, stripper YouTubers, like, you know, they got like some tats sometimes, and I can like, y'all know how Twitter is. Like, I honestly think she stole somebody's picture who's in the adult entertainment world and maybe not that known in the adult entertainment world, because, you know, Tumblr and Twitter was like the wild west at this time. Like, everything is on there. So, ooh, or she could have took this. Oh, yes. Yes, I think that was it. Like, she either took somebody's picture from Tumblr. I definitely think it's Tumblr. But she definitely, because you remember, like, I have a Tumblr, right? It's not popping or anything because I don't use it at all. But you remember when Tumblr was a place where you do not let people know that it's your Tumblr? Like, that's when I had a Tumblr. So she probably took somebody's picture from Tumblr, created a Twitter page, and became, we're gonna call her Patrick Star. Okay, no, we're gonna call her Lola Monroe, because I love Lola Monroe. Okay, so and decided to become Lola Monroe. Okay, I was just like, but this not you. And then it kind of made sense why she didn't want to show me everything on the Janae thing. Like, she showed me that Janae retweeted her, but she didn't show me like her picture on there. So I was just like it didn't make that big of a deal, because I was just like, oh cool, like the highlight was that, right? So I wasn't paying attention to look for her face. But now I saw it. So now this is like the complete, now I see who the account is, and the account isn't her. And I was like, girl, that's not you. And she was like, yeah, I know, I Catfish, actually Catfish the movie might have been out, but no one really knew about it like that. So the term catfish wasn't really a thing yet. I was just like, oh, okay, that's crazy. You getting these people to like what you're saying and stuff like that. I mean, you can like make one with yourself, and I'm sure people are gonna like it and stuff like that. Cause like she was entertaining. Like, she a little, like, I don't know, you gonna hear more throughout the story, but yeah. She was just like, yeah, I know. And she just went along doing whatever she was gonna do. Vanessa and I, we would talk all the time. Like, we would talk, well, we didn't have all our classes together, but I remember we had like advanced math together, and we had Spanish together. But we would also go home and we would talk to each other on the phone. And then when I would be at work, I would usually work until close. So when all the customers are out of the store, I'd be on my phone and I'd just be like cleaning up, you know, folding stuff so it looks all pretty for the next day. So that's just to let you know like how close we were. Like, we would talk all the time. Just got to give you that background story. Part of the time I am talking to or like getting to know this person, like they want to be my boyfriend eventually, it seems like. And we are going to call him Landon. So sometimes I would talk to him when I'm closing the store too. Just so you know, that's going to be important later on in the story. I don't want to forget him. Now we are going to go on to last day of school. It's May 4th. And I went to a high school full of nerds. So our little saying was, may the 4th be with you. We were super happy. So we went to the mall. We saw Avengers. And, you know, that's how we spent our last day of school. Well, while we're at the mall, we meet this guy named, we're gonna call him Kevin. So we meet this guy named Kevin. Kevin, he cute. Oh, you know what? We started talking about the Avengers because there was people who were in the mall dressed as Avengers. So I just be talking to people. So I was like, yeah, I mentioned something about the Avengers. And he comments, and then our group, my girl group, and we all just start talking in general. Asked for my number, and I gave him my number. And Vanessa asked for his number. Yeah, he gave her his number. I was just like, you know, I wasn't thinking about it. If anybody did that today, I'd definitely be looking at it sideways. But I wasn't trying to be with Kevin like that or anything. So for me, it wasn't a big deal. But that is definitely a red flag in a friendship. So that happened. And so she began talking to him. I also like talked to him just in passing, like how you would your other friends, just, you know, you text and stuff like that. So one day we as in Vanessa and I are talking on the phone, and she asked me about Kevin, and then she was like, hey mom, is Kevin texting you? And I was like, yeah, we texting right now. And then she was like, oh, okay. So I was just like, okay. Like, it was just like in passing. Like, for me, like I said, it wasn't a big deal. But you'll see that it was a very big deal to her later on. One day, so we're talking on the phone, and then she is like, hey mom, guess what? Kevin's texting me. We're texting, and stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad. I know you really wanted to talk to him. Because at that point, I had other people I was talking to. I was not checking for Kevin like that. Like, he was cute, but he wasn't like I didn't want him like that. Like, friendship, yeah. Anything else? No. So she said that, and I was just like, okay, cool. I know you really want to talk to him. So she's talking, and she ends up telling me how she created another person who is she, and she decided to be, her name was Arabella now, okay? And Arabella was with red hair yet again, but it was not the same person that was on the Twitter account, okay? So she found out that Kevin had a Tumblr and what his Tumblr was, and she found out like the kind of girls that he was like, you know, liking their stuff on, because you know Tumblr had everything on there. She was able to see all that stuff, so she was like, she didn't expect a gadget girl, now that I think about it. When she saw all that stuff, she basically created what she thought that Kevin would like based upon his profile on Tumblr. So she didn't tell it to me like that, but she was just like, you know, having a conversation. I'm just like, okay, so you like, how are you gonna go on a date with him or like meet him if you don't look like Arabella? She was just like, oh well, I just want to see how things goes, but I guess I'll describe how Vanessa looked. So Vanessa, she was thick. She was like, she was full figured. She had like a great, like her body shape is like very cute and stuff. She was thick. She's tall. She's dark skinned, and her hair is like, you know, her hair is to here. She wear it in like, actually she wear it in braids a lot. You know, society is very like disrespectful towards black women, and particularly dark skinned black women. So you can have two people who do the same thing, but you know, the person that is light skinned or white, they get praised for doing the same thing that if someone was dark skinned would do, they wouldn't get the same amount of attention. Or even in regards to like whatever activity, like let's say it's something negative that someone does, like the black woman, the woman that's dark skinned would be, you know, talked about even worse than someone who's white or light skinned who does a negative action. And in some cases they may be even getting praised for something that if a dark skinned woman were to do it, they would get talked badly about, right? So, but that's a whole video for another time, okay? So essentially that's what she was experiencing, because like it would be this, like clearly it's the same personality. She's the same person when she's being, you know, Lola Monroe or Arabella, but she just has a different outside than the person she is when she's really herself. So Kevin was giving her attention when she was Arabella, but when she was being herself, Vanessa, he wasn't giving, he wasn't checking for her like that. And like, you know, he's like Kevin, he was biracial. He was half white, half black. He looked racially ambiguous. His white mom raised him, so I'll just leave that there. So back to the story. So that's actually like what she was witnessing and what I feel like she was experiencing anyway. After a while, I just stopped. I didn't even ask her why she was like doing what she was doing, because you know, you see trends doing something for a certain period of time and it just seems like something that she's just gonna do. Me and her, we had been friends. And I know I should probably use the word friends loosely, considering like, what if I had actually liked Kevin? Like, if I had actually liked Kevin, like that would have been disrespectful for her to ask for someone's number who asked for my number. And honestly, it would have been disrespectful for him to like even give his number away. But that was a thing. And like, she actually catfished one of our mutual friends. Like, catfishing was her thing. Like, she was a pro catfish. It worked. I mean, they never met. Kevin never met Arabella. It was a lot for her, I'm sure. Vanessa, she had been catfishing people for years at this point, because the story that I told you about took over the span of like a year. Like, this portion here was a year. So we are gonna go 1 year further, okay? Me and Vanessa, we are still friends. Now we're in college. I actually decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend with Landon, and we, you know, we still talk. I'm working at the same place, so whenever I close, I'll be talking on the phone. One day, Janae, not Janae Aiko, but if you watch my past story times, you already know Janae to a certain extent. She like randomly calls me. I was just like, hey, what's up? And she was like, girl, I have to tell you this. And I'm like, what is it? And she's like, Vanessa, she's trying to take your boyfriend Landon. And I was like, what? He's trying to take my boyfriend Landon? How? How's she gonna take him? That's weird. She was like, I'm gonna take Landon from mom because she was talking to Kevin. And I was just like, first of all,
woo! You don't have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me.
I don't even talk to Kevin anymore. Okay? I don't talk to Kevin anymore. So where is this coming from? This was like in high school. Why would I still be talking to Landon? Like, I mean, not Landon. Why would I still be talking to Kevin? Like, honestly, I didn't even think Kevin was that interesting to continue to talk to. Like, I talked to him for like maybe a month after we exchanged numbers. Vanessa or Arabella, whoever she wanted to be that day, she was talking to Kevin. She liked Kevin. I did not like Kevin like that. So I was just like, how's she gonna, okay, so how did she say she was gonna try and take Landon from me? Like, at this point I was amused because how, Sway? How? So the plan was for her to create a guy account for me to like, so she can use that to show Landon that I'm cheating on Landon by talking to someone else. Janae says that Vanessa planned on creating an account, another account, to talk to Landon so Landon can like her, and then, you know, just start going out with him and stuff like that. And the main reason was because she was mad, but she was mad that me and Kevin had each other's numbers. And I was just like, she was there when we exchanged numbers. What is she mad about? Like, well, I know what she's mad about, but like, it's just like, okay, I don't know. You know, there's many different kinds of people in the world, and there's people who try to get back at someone right away, and then there's others that let it sit and simmer. And what I realized was that she was the one that liked things to sit and simmer. And what was even crazier about the whole thing was that she was just so friendly and sweet in front of me, aside from like that shady stuff I just told y'all about. Like, what if I'd actually liked Kevin? But outside of that, like, she was very entertaining. And you want to know what? Like, God really be telling me stuff, okay? Because I had a dream about her. That was years ago. I don't remember what the dream was, but like, I cannot remember. There can be times where I don't remember a dream, but I remember what God was trying to tell me in the dream. And God was trying to tell me that this girl is not your friend. And at that point, I didn't really understand how to, like, I don't want to say I'm a dream interpreter, but you know, God, he tells me things in dreams. So like, that's not the only way God speaks to me, but that's one of the ways that God speaks to me. He had told me that. He told me that in high school, but I definitely was not like, I didn't really understand it. So I was just like, I mean, ooh, I can also tell y'all stories about that because I've definitely had plenty of experience. Actually, that's gonna be, I'm gonna tell you later. So back on topic. It made sense. It really made sense when Janae told me this, and I really appreciated her for telling me this. So it ain't nothing to cut that off. So I cut her off, and she would like contact me. She was like, Mom, why aren't you contacting me? Mom, why don't we hang out? So when we were in college, we would always be in the union together. We would have lunch together. Not all the time, because, you know, we had classes and stuff. But every day around lunchtime, based upon our schedules, you know, we would sit, eat, have lunch together. But once that happened, once I heard news about that, and I didn't put it past her that she would do something like that. I mean, yeah, is that the saying? I wouldn't put it past her. I wouldn't put it past her. Yeah, I think that's the saying. So I wouldn't put it past her that she would try to do something like that, because there's been a time where I've heard her say something like that towards someone, and of course it will be over a guy. So you definitely, like, You do not want a friend like that in your circle. So it has never been hard for me. Well, actually, you know what? It has before, but this was not one of those moments where it was hard for me to cut someone off, because yeah, it was just weird. Like, for her to be so friendly and oh, so nice and sweet, and then have like this conniving, backstabbing thing. Like, I honestly don't know how many accounts she has, but I know of at least 5, okay? And those 5 accounts, honestly, actually, yeah, I'm sure y'all seen Catfish, where it will be people who have multiple accounts and they use those multiple accounts to talk to their other accounts so it looks like it's a real person. Like, that's her. That's the kind of stuff she would do. So when I start seeing Catfish, I started seeing a lot of similar. This is like years later when Catfish comes out. Catfish, the TV show, comes out, right? So when I see that, I see a lot of similarities between her and like definitely like manipulative traits. But yeah, there's definitely a thick layer of insecurity and manipulation, and I don't know, I can't believe I was friends with someone like that. And then I think about it, I'm like, well, you know, she was entertaining, she was fun. Like, she definitely had like good friend traits, but the bad traits outweighed the good ones. And I feel like when someone does something like sneaky, and you know, it's like purposely sneaky, and they are aiming towards you, like, oh my goodness, I remember the dream now. Okay, so my dream was that she was like trying to, I don't know what my followers believe in or anything, but my dream was that she was trying to like do voodoo on me. Okay, like she was trying to do voodoo, and honestly, like, you know, they say there's good of things, there's bad of things. She was definitely trying to do bad of things, and my Lord, he works, okay? He keeps me protected. He keeps me protected. But yeah, I cut that off real fast. Cut that off. That's not cool. Okay, y'all. So my closing thoughts. This story is, if you have a friend that's catfishing, just be aware that they will probably try to catfish you. Especially if they really like you, if they look up to you, if you a bad bee, if you a fine girl, they might try to catfish you. I guess another thing, sometimes people like to be like, oh, well, you know, you can like uplift your friend, and that is true. But sometimes when someone has low self-esteem, there is nothing you can do to make someone have high self-esteem sometimes, because like you can only do so much. So if someone has low self-esteem, you can't pull self-esteem out of someone else. They have to be willing to find that in themselves, because it's self-esteem. It's not this person esteem. Like, so yeah, that's a story time about how she was a pro catfisher and how she tried to catfish me and ruin my relationship. So if you like this video, don't forget to like it. Make sure you comment and subscribe for more videos like this. Bye.